Hello, Sweet Tooth here. I hope your day is going well. Hakuna Matata. I wanted to try this game out. This looked very interesting when I saw it around on Steam. I saw some previews of it. Wanted to try it out. It's made by the developer Robot Invader. Be sure to give credit where credit is due to the developer for making this game. If you do like the game, try it out for yourself. Get it for yourself. I may be playing this on my play, but you really should try these games out for yourself if you like them. I don't normally do like indie games unless I find it like really interesting, like I did Monstrum for a while. And this one is actually pretty interesting. So let's get right into it. It's actually meant to be like VR, like if you had the Oculus Rift or something.
Harris
I,
Bullard was found dead in his study 5 days ago. Nobody believes me, but I think he was murdered. This house in the middle of nowhere holds the secret. There's a story hiding here, and I'm going to cover it. If I'm right, there are 4 major suspects: Graham Wellington, Josie Herrera, Cynthia Peckman, Bobby Sawyer. I'm not leaving until I find out what happened.
this is it, the crime scene. It's kind of like a horror mystery kind of game. There's tons of reading inside it too. Okay, so the controls are kind of odd. WASD actually makes you look around, it doesn't make you walk like any other game. Left click is to get out of things. That's interesting. Reclusive professor found dead in home. Harris Bullard, retired college teacher, was found dead in his home Monday. The body was discovered by Bobby Sawyer, who worked part-time for Bullard, running odd jobs. A police investigation has concluded that Bullard died of natural causes. He was 63. Bullard moved on into his home on Rampo Way several years ago, but was rarely seen out about town. He was a private and reclusive man who seemed to have very few friends. Bullard raised eyebrows last year when a former student, a pretty young woman named Josie Herrera, moved in with him. Bullard's will, written in 1957, leaves his entire estate to his ex-wife, Cynthia Peckman. Peckman will reportedly sell the house and its contents immediately. Harris was a genius in his discipline, said Graham Wellington, a former colleague. The field of neuroscience is considerably poorer without him. Retired recluse found dead in his study. Police ruled death natural. Bobby Sawyer ran errands for Bullard, found the body. Josie Herrera, Bullard's live-in assistant. Cynthia, ex-wife, inheritor of Bullard's estate. Graham Wellington, former colleague of Bullard. Huh. Small parcel tied tightly with twine. I can't open it with my bare hands. This is supposed to take place in Kansas. Can't leave yet. There's a story here. I know it. So I can't walk, like, on my own? No? They sure aren't wasting any time selling off Bullard's stuff. WSD does not move around. Is this really just a point and click? Guess so. Boxes are too heavy for me to move with one arm. Why do you have one arm? What happened to your other arm? Huh. It's locked. No, small key. Investigate the crime scene. I got it. I'll do it. This drawer is missing its knob. I can't open it. Alright. It's only September, but today is cold and dark. Fall is here, I guess. Dictionaries and language reference. Looks like a lot. A lot of these books aren't even in English. Why not? It's Kansas. You ever been to Kansas? Everything's in English. The Snow Woman. Adapted from an original translation by Lafcadio Hearn. An old man and his son climbed a mountain to collect firewood. It began to snow heavily, and unable to make it back home, they decided to pass the night in a small hut. In the middle of the night, the young man woke to see that the door had blown open. A tall woman with long hair and a white kimono was leaning over his father, blowing her breath upon him. When she saw that the son was awake, she said, "You are a handsome young man, so I will let you live. But if you ever speak of this to anyone, your life shall be forfeit." Really? Oh, let me try something out. Yep, I can do a 360. Strange. In the morning, the young man found his father frozen and dead. He climbed down the mountain alone and never spoke of the episode. A year later, he met and married a young, beautiful girl. They had children together and were happy. And I sure appreciate the good grammar in this, aside from other games I played. But the night of his father's death still weighed heavily on his mind. One night, after having a bit too much to drink, the man told his wife about his encounter with the Snow Woman. "No, don't tell her." She was furious. "You promised not to tell," she screamed. Before his eyes, she became the tall woman with long black hair and a white kimono. "Well, you're dead now. If it were not for our children, I would end your life here and now. I will spare you for their sake, but if anything ever happens to them, you shall pay the price." Well, you already had children with you. I mean, some people consider that paying a price. And with that, in a good way and a bad way, and with that, she melted into the wind and was gone. Huh. Just a regular lamp. Issues of the Journal of Physiology and a bunch of medical books with names I can't pronounce. I could pronounce them. There's a clay statue with a weird face. I've never seen a map laid out like this. There's a spot marked with an X. What is that? It's kind of hard to tell where that would be. But I think this is Australia, right? Yeah, this is like Russia. This is China. Russia and China. Huh. Alright. It's a note with a foreign symbol on it. Underneath it reads north. Here's Bullard. I am woodcutter. Your past has caught up with you. It is over. Who's woodcutter? Who is woodcutter? Threatening Bullard. Pair of scissors. Use these to open that package in the other room. Okay. What's this? It looks like a tiny camera lens. Joe, something is after me. It's creeping around the house trying to get in, I'm sure of it. I heard footsteps outside and creaking on the roof. It's not safe here. I've taken the idiofocal lenses from their normal location and hidden them in the study. I've sent you a package that you'll know what to do with. Check the map for the mask. As usual, X marks the spot. P.S. The sequence is west, east, north. Bullard hid something in his room. Very suspicious. This will be a great hook for my opening paragraph. She's supposed to be like a news reporter. This is where Bobby Sawyer found Bullard's body. He'd been dead for a couple of days, though. Oh. Something's typed out here, but the paper is so far into the feeder that I can't pull it out. There we go. Writing about Ouija boards, in 1952, William Benjamin Carpenter was the first to describe the phenomenon known as the ideomotor effect. The ideomotor effect occurs when the subconscious mind takes control of the body without the conscious mind realizing it. Ideomotor action is distinct from other forms of involuntary action because responses are driven by existing knowledge and perception. The Ouija board, Carpenter suggested, is a clear manifestation. The participants unwillingly move the planchette because their subconscious mind is guiding them. Another example of this phenomenon is dowsing. The practice is using a divining rod to locate water or other materials buried underground. The dowser holds the instrument in both hands and allows it to lead him forward until it points down at the ground, seemingly by itself. For centuries, dowsing was believed to be a form of magic or witchcraft, but we now know that it can be explained by the ideomotor effect. The dowser's subconscious mind is highly sensitive and is able to recognize cues in the environment of which his conscious mind is not aware. When these cues hint at the location of water, the subconscious mind takes control of the dowser's hands and causes him to rotate the rod to the ground, since the conscious mind is not involved in this operation. The instrument seems to move on its own, pulled as if by some magical force. In reality, it is the dowser himself who is divining. His subconscious mind is responsible both for the detection of buried materials and for the motion of the rod. I'm pretty responsible for the motion of my rod, too. My research seeks direct access to the knowledge stored in the subconscious mind, complete unfiltered linkage between the sensitive unconscious and the logical conscience. I call this state ideofocus. Why is it so pitch black when I'm trying to read something? Quantum mechanics and functional analysis. Not exactly light reading. Kind of feels like they are looking at me. What do they see in this room? They didn't see anything. They're masks. Bullard had some pretty advanced degrees. This one is from the University of Chicago, 1935. Boy, I'd love to visit Chicago. Me too. That'd be awesome. One of Bullard's diplomas. Hey! Doesn't turn on. I guess it's broken. So it doesn't turn on and you assume it's broken. Okay. It's a picture of a woman. She's wearing a white kimono standing in a cell. It's a record player. There's no record inside. It's another lens. I found 2 of them now. Something about this painting makes me uncomfortable. It's very bleak. What are you talking about? It looks really nice to me. Looks like plain old Kansas. Kansas is actually pretty nice. The man who could see with his skin. In 1926, I met a man who could see with his skin. His eyes were sealed with wax and bandage, yet he remained aware of the room around him. We held up signs which he read and fingers which he counted, even when we stood behind him. After the performance, I gave him $200 for the secret. He explained that he could see as long as some part of his skin remained exposed to the air. He described it as a shift in the wind or a slight breeze, a disturbance on his face. The subtle motion of the hair on his arm. After years of focus and practice, he had developed the ability to form a mental image of his surroundings based only on these slight sensations. Daredevil. Daredevil does it by sound. You know, this is bullshit. This man had achieved a form. Oh, no, I'm not even reading that. That's bullshit. Bullshit. I'm out of here. Huh? Huh. Huh. It's an old book. It says "Quite On" the cover, whatever that means. The author is Lafcadio Hearn. Huh. It's weird. I could have sworn the TV was off before. And broken. Hmm. I can't push the book all the way. Feels like it's hitting something. Wait, there's something jammed way back there. It's a flat, triangular wedge. There's some sort of foreign writing on it. What's that mean? A wooden wedge. do I put that? Hmm. That's interesting. Where would the wooden wedge go to? Usually those are for seals. Like ceremony-like seals, I think, if I remember correctly. Huh. I must be missing something. Oh, I need to point the globe to what that's pointing to. Went too far. Really? It's a small box. Let's get a better look at it on the desk. Got it. North. What's that look like? Alright. North. There, I got it. It was west, east, north. So I knew where north was, and then I could tell where west and east was from that. Let's see, the lens fit into the mask's eye sockets. It's like a weird pair of goggles. Ah, shit. Ah, the noise scared me more than anything. Who was that? I don't know, man. What if I take this and look outside? Nope. Is that the Idiofocus mask or something? What the heck's going on? Strange. So I still need to be in here. You know what, let's check the other couch cushions. No? What am I looking for? That? Anything else? There's a page taped to the back. Josie, if you're reading this note, then something must have happened to me. I may be dead, or missing, or out of fruit juice. Go get me some, please. If so, you're the only person who can save our research. And my fruit punch. The truth is that I'm being threatened. It started before I left the college. I get notes every few months from somebody calling himself Woodcutter. What he wants is access to our research. He wants me to turn over our plans for the Lunar Dream apparatus. Josie, my life is in danger. Woodcutter knows things. Secret things about my past that nobody should know. I'll not yield to the simple blackmail, but lately the threats have escalated. I am sure that I am being watched at the house. I sometimes hear things on the other side of the wall. Yesterday with the mask on, I thought I saw somebody reaching for me. It's a warning from my subconscious. I am no longer safe here. I've locked our research away in the safe upstairs. I want you to retrieve it and leave. Destroy everything before you go. Burn the house down if you have to. Just get the research and get out of here. Head for the big city, where it's easy to hide. Counting on you, Joe. Don't let our work fall into their hands. Harris. Blackmailed by Woodcutter. Primary suspect. Ordered by Bullard to destroy their research and split. I knew there's more to this story. Whatever Bullard was mixed up in, I bet there's evidence. Me too. What do I do now? I guess I'm going upstairs. His body was bound by Bobby Sawyer. Bobby ran odd jobs for Bullard. Could he have done it? He certainly had the opportunity. Bullard was scared. He was worried about losing his secret research. Blackmail. I knew this would be a scoop. Somebody wanted Bullard's research. He must have been killed for it. Bullard was being blackmailed by Woodcutter. Woodcutter, what is that supposed to mean? This is the kind of juicy detail I came here to find. Okay, to sell this story, I need some real evidence. Let's go check out that safe upstairs. Well, Joe obviously failed Harris. This room is like a tomb. The air is so stale I can hardly breathe. No wonder the air is so stale. This window is only open a crack. Nice to get some fresh air in here. I just wish it wasn't raining. Here's Bullard. I am Woodcutter. I know your secret. James Lowry ends his regards. This Woodcutter character is my prime suspect. I bet his blackmail scheme went south, so he killed Bullard. Safe's right there, but let's go over here. Pieces of a torn up photo here. It's an old photo of two men on a ship. James Lowry and Harris Bullard. Who's James Lowry? Okay, so there's a note right there. What is up with him? Bullard's bed. Everything is boxed up and ready to move out. Harris Bullard, Daily Log, November 2, 1964. We did a test run of the idiofocal lenses today. At first we did not know how to interpret the results, but now I believe they are working better than we had anticipated. Why do the lenses, if the lenses are what I'm wearing right now, why do they make noise? It's like it shouldn't make any noise. Instead of an unfiltered stream of sensory information, what we are seeing is subconscious memory. The lenses distort in response to visual stimuli that the wearer has some knowledge of. You see what my conscious mind cannot. Just to propose that what we are really doing is mining dreams. Dreams are, after all, a form of video focus, a time when the subconscious comes forward and shows us truths that we might not otherwise recognize. What we are striving for is unrestricted access to dream thought. As a controlled mnemonic, the mask works pretty well. I could tell that Josie was dubious at first, but now she understands. Subconscious thought is potentially dangerous to the subject. We will need a physical object to enable the mind to compartmentalize, providing the wearer with some degree of cognitive protection. A permanent augmentation will require a much larger apparatus. We will need some other kind of focus mnemonic to help the brain focus the deluge of dream information it will receive. Something large and ubiquitous. The moon, perhaps? Huh. I don't know. I don't even understand. I can't go over there? What is that?
It might say reporter on my desk, but I spend most of my time at the Standard making coffee for my editor. I'm tired of writing the gossip column. This story is my shot at the big leagues. When I prove that Bullard was murdered, all the big papers will come calling. I'll finally escape this backwater town. This is it, the chance I've been waiting for.
It's a plate with a circular dial. Someone knocked over this lamp without unplugging it. Why would they only knock that lamp over and nothing else? Hey, what are you doing up there? Weirdo. Hmm. Hey, you know what I forgot? I forgot to look at the safe. Okie dokie. Hero says helicopter may win Vietnam War. Medal of Honor winner from Kansas said today the helicopter may win the War of South Vietnam. Marine Major Douglas Big Tom Thompson, 39 of Fortuna, won the nation's highest military award during World War II, manning a bazooka in Iwo Jima. Major Thompson is attached to the Marine Helicopter Squadron operating along the coast and northern border in what did I say border of South Vietnam. South big space Viet big space Nam. Thompson's father lives in Wichita, Kansas. As a leatherneck, Thompson destroyed 16 Japanese strongpoints and killed 75 Japanese on Iwo Jima in 1945. He is the only Medal of Honor winner currently serving in Vietnam. The most effective weapon the Viet Cong use is terror, the big pipe-smoking Marine said. The most effective one against them is the helicopter. And the reason they do that, they space out a certain amount like that, is because in the old days when you had a typewriter, they didn't want to wrap the word around it. You didn't not have like word processing or anything like you do now. Word processing software. So word wrapping had to be either predetermined or you would mess up the writing and have to rewrite it. You would have to rewrite everything you did from a typewriter before you get it to a printing press. I remember working on a typewriter. This window is painted shut. Huh. Paper. More reading. Today is an anniversary. It was 5 years ago today that I found Dad's name on an old research paper at the U of C. He had written it in 1933, 8 years before I was born. I didn't know he had gone to college. I had never really thought about his life. He was just a name on my birth certificate. Dad ran out on Mama after the war. He had gone off to fight and just never came back. When he stopped writing, Mama thought he'd been killed. I remember her crying at the kitchen table. The war ended. Life went on. Mama died without ever finding out what had happened to him. I used to hate him. Hated the idea of him. Hated my mother a little bit too. I figured Dad was just a deadbeat who ditched Mama because he didn't want a kid. But when I found his name in the library, something changed. I couldn't stop thinking about him. Deadbeat dads don't study physics, do they? What is he doing now? What does he look like? Is he married to somebody else? I traced him here to Kansas, but finding him is taking longer than I had expected. So Josie came to Kansas to look for her father. Interesting. Oh, here's the latest chapter all typed up. I think this story is becoming very interesting, and I'm sure you can get it published. I hope you don't mind, but I made a few edits and inserted a few details here and there. Looking forward to next chapter. Pistol Cave. The man had been dead for... Aspiring fiction writer. Helping Bobby with his writing. Maybe when I get the rest of those writings, I'll read them. This is about my age, I guess. She said she was only Bullard's assistant, but the spinsters were all sure it was something more. Walking mechanic is so strange.
Bill told me to cover Bullard's death, but he's just looking for gossip about the young assistant. But I took it seriously, did the research, followed every lead, like a real journalist would. It paid off. I found something everybody else missed. A note, a half-thought, scribbled in the margins of the coroner's draft report. It read, "Hypothermia in summer?"
Something is holding the lid closed. There's a small dial mounted on the front. There we go. Dear Diary, today Dr. Bullard and I built a chassis for his new weather device. It's weird, as usual. I don't really get why we're building it. But today, Dr. Bullard doesn't explain things. Tomorrow I need to go buy some bottles for the base. Today was Mama's birthday. She would have been 54. I bet she would have liked the work I'm doing now. I hope she's proud somewhere. I had the nightmare again last night. It's been over a year since I've had it last, but it never changes. I've written about it over and over, but the writing seems to help. So I'll tell you about it again. I'm 5 years old. In our apartment in Chicago, it's dark. I haven't gotten out of bed to get some water, but I hear something coming from Mama's room. I peek in and see a tall man standing over her. He has his hands around her neck. He is breathing hard, and in the cold night air I can see his breath. It streams out of his mouth like smoke and seems to cover her. There isn't any breath coming from Mama. She's already dead. But he continues to squeeze. When I was a kid, I thought the dream would go away when I grew up. It hasn't. Has recurring dreams about her mother's death. Small wooden knob. Rats. The safe combination isn't here. Pretty sure I saw a drawer with the missing knob. Downstairs, though. Josie stuff, linens and books. That's it. Close that up. Ah! Why would I hide here? Why did the clicking go here? Uh... Well... Dead end. Huh. Does it pick up where I left off? Yeah, I still have the knob. Yeah, I still got everything. Huh. What you want, punk? Where am I going? Ah! The hell? Huh. Ah! Huh. This way? Where am I? Feels like the right way. No? Well, how can you tell, man? Let's watch the bird. No, the bird's just gone. That's not it. Hmm. What's going on here? I have no idea. I hate these monkeys. I really do. I used to have one. There's also a horror movie based on one of those. Okay, what am I doing? Huh. Are you Bullard? You look like Bullard. Huh. I think. The man in the raincoat. Was that Woodcutter? Must have hit my head. Oh. Leave? Won't be scared off that easily. I could choose to run away? Wait, let's see what my options are. Window? Run away. I'm out of here. See ya. I'll never really know what happened to Harris Bullard. I was a fool. This story is worth risking your life. I'm stuck here in Kansas writing the gossip column. It may be boring, but at least it's safe. I guess I can live with that. Dead secret. Music? There was music? I don't remember. Oh, there was some music. So ending C is if you just plain leave. Interesting. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. I want to thank you for watching. Feel free to leave a comment. If you like this game, try it out for yourself. I'm going to leave out the video here. It's about 50 minutes worth. So I want to thank you for watching. Feel free to leave a comment. I hope you have yourself a good day. And this is Sweet Tooth, signing off. I love you.